Lifetime Achievement Award.
Well, good morning. As a family physician with a long interest in research and practice and education around primary care mental health, it's an honor and a real pleasure to introduce to you someone with an amazing story. Kevin Hines has spoken to more than 300,000 people about his firsthand experience with attempted suicide. He is one of only 31 Golden Gate Bridge jump survivors. Less than 2% of people have survived the jump and regained full mobility like Kevin. He is the sole survivor of that jump who has dedicated his life to actively spreading the message of living mentally well and preventing suicide. A powerful, honest, and intimate presenter, Kevin has been on Larry King Live, been featured in a critically acclaimed film, The Bridge, been on 2020, Anderson Cooper 360, Good Morning America, many other national and international print, radio, film, television outlets. He's written several articles about the prevention of suicide and about living well with mental illness and about America's mental health problem. Kevin's will to live and stay mentally well is inspiring and is inspired and continues to inspire people of all ages to change their life for the better. One of his most recent goals is to reach out to military servicemen, women, and veterans. He recently took a cross-country tour speaking to 10,000 U.S. Marines, talking about preventing death by suicide and promoting mental wellness. And for Kevin, it's been a personal mission to reach out to those who have fought and sacrificed so valiantly and courageously for this country. So again, it's a distinct pleasure for me to introduce to you our recipient of the Welcome Back Lifetime Achievement Award, Kevin Hines. Thank you.
Thank you, Eli Lilly, and the National Council for Community Behavioral Mental Health. I'm sure I got that wrong, but thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity and award. It means the world to me. When I got the call, it touched my heart and put a smile from ear to ear on my face, as well as everyone I love. I want to thank, first and foremost, God, because if it wasn't for Him, I absolutely 100% know I would not be here today. I want to thank my beautiful wife, Margaret, for her love. I want to thank her for being the love of my life, my very best friend, and an angel sent down from heaven to keep me on the straight and narrow. I want to thank my father, Patrick, because it was him who never left my side during the most darkest of hours. I want to thank my manager, Phyllis, and a great friend for helping me grow as much as she has. I want to thank my good buddy, Dr. Dan Reidenberg of SAVE, because he has become my real best buddy in this field of suicide prevention and mental health. He's walked with me this entire way, and it was him who had me on my first national tour. Every day I wake up is a beautiful day. These are my thoughts this very moment, this morning. These are my same thoughts as I awaken every day. I am now and will forever be aware of what a true blessing life's gift really is. This is how I feel as I recall today knocking at death's door 11 years ago and thankfully being blindly turned away. It was the year 2000, the date September 25th, and by all accounts, I should have died. By God's good graces, I was allowed to live on, to continue my life's path, and find my life's passion. I found that after the circumstances of my suicide attempt, after the day when I leapt from the walkway and the rail of the Golden Gate Bridge to what most certainly should have been my demise, the world opened up to me, sharing with me the secret potential deep inside me that would help me do good with what I had learned. This good would help me give back to those who desperately needed to cling onto that thing we call hope. But I was not taught such hope to sit idly by, watching my plasma screen television or playing video games, sitting lazily, eating potato chips into oblivion. My father witnessed enough of that when I was a kid. No, not me. As much as I was blessed with the hope of this new-found life's worth, I realized that it would soon become my duty on this planet to share the gift that I had been given, both far and wide. It would be up to me to reach out with the gift of gab, which if you ask anybody that knows me, I've had since I was 2. And with that gift, I would try to emotionally touch all of those in my presence. I was lucky in the aftermath of the single worst day of my entire life. I was handed a purpose. The very first time I spoke publicly of my attempt and my story, 6 young students were directly and positively affected. They saw through me hope in the darkest of hours. Rather, through my faith in the human condition, they saw their future, and it was not to be ended by death by their own hands. This would end up being the very beginning of the rest of my life. A beginning where I would realize my calling. I was to talk, and talk some more. I was to spread a message of the immense and palpable power of influence. Positive, intelligent, bright, and shining influence. I was to find venues where my voice, like any encouraging, determined, and deliberate voice, could be heard from the mountaintops. So I did just that. In the beginning, there was just one presentation for that 1 year on the topics of suicide prevention and mental health awareness. It was Good Friday of the year 2001 to the 7th and 8th graders of the school I attended, St. Cecilia's in San Francisco. It was that speech on those 2 topics that would transform to some 40 to 60 plus presentations a year. I would find myself traveling all across the US of A, and even beyond our borders to places like Canada and Ireland. I would meet amazing, diligent colleagues in the field which my topic seemed to hold weight. I would learn so much about the process of networking, and I would make so many new acquaintances, some of which would become my great friends. Throughout the whole time I stayed on this journey, I suffered terribly. I suffered, severely afflicted with the symptoms that had led me to the bridge in the first place. Very serious mental illness. One that no matter the work I put in to fight it, would battle with me constantly, daily. No matter the level of wellness that I achieved, I still suffered. I was still in pain. I still am. Yet with the strict routine of talk therapy, medication, education as to my disease, a good circadian rhythm, exercise, good eating habits most of the time, except for this weekend, a peer support group, and much, much, much more, I learned what I call the art of living mentally well. And you bet it's an art. As my father Patrick always reminded me, I did not have a terminal illness of any kind. No, quite the contrary. I have a brain disease, one which can be treated. I could live all the while trying to help those around me find within themselves a modicum of mental healing and a modicum of success. I found within myself the innate power of this treatment and the proof that said treatment absolutely works, knowing full well that treatment meant something very different for every audience I addressed and every person in that audience. I came to the personal realization that life is already too short to die by suicide, and that suicide is never, has never been, nor will ever be the solution to any problem, period. Even today, when I fall face first into horrific depression or fly into skyrocketing mania, and even when the severe depression leads to thoughts of ending it all, which it still does, I remember quite clearly the devastation I once caused everyone in my path. And I remember quite clearly thinking long and hard about those who would be left behind. And I feel with clarity that suicides that have occurred in their lives have done those I know, have done to me, and still do to every person who has ever come in contact with someone who has died that way, died by their own mental instability. I will never again, I promise you this, I will never again inflict that immeasurable pain on anyone I love and know. But most importantly, I will never inflict that irreversible pain on myself. At home every day I wake up, I walk outside of my house, I look to the sky and I thank the Lord for blessing me with just one more day. None of us are guaranteed tomorrow. But I stand firm and I realize the gift I had been given of a second, a third, and even a fourth chance at living this life. And I will never take one day for granted again. Holding dear the ones I love and reminding them on a regular basis how much they mean to me and how much I love them with all my heart. I am grateful to exist by all of your sides. To sum it up, I am thankful for every single step I take, because it was the doctor, when I first met him after my jump, who told us that I might not ever take another step again. God has granted me not just the gift of life after being so close to the brink of death. He has shown me through the last 11 years that the gift has been given to me and meant to be shared, and is meant to be placed in the hands of those who need it even more than they know. I am thankful and grateful to have received letters of thanks from as close to California as Texas and Phoenix, as far away as Norway, Taiwan, Greece, the UK, Russia, and Japan. All from people both young and old who have only heard my story secondhand, maybe online or through the news, and all who have been positively affected by it. I ask you now to never underestimate the power of your own voice. Because positive words can do a great deal of good, but negative ones can hurt just as swiftly. Please never forget the gift of life, for it may be the single greatest gift we have or will ever be given. Today, I'm working very hard to start something called the Life is a Gift Summit, which I hope will go to every state and every group of schools in the country someday. It is a summit that will talk about all things mental health, and it is a summit that we hope will raise money for various foundations across the country. As I end all of my speeches when I talk to young or groups or old groups alike, and as I quote the great Babatunde Olatunji, as he once said, "Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift." That's why they call it present. I say, let us always and forever cherish today and every day. Thank you for this honor very much.